Hi everybody, thank you so much for being here. Welcome to a Wellness Wednesday. Today we're going to be talking about confidence. Now, this is something I've struggled with many different times in my life, usually always resulting because of my body issues that I've had my entire life. Always growing up the fat kid and being put down for it and feeling like that was the one thing holding me back from dreams and things that I wanted to accomplish. But I did gain more of a personality in kind of learning more about myself because I wasn't as focused on the outside. Although I should have been a bit more whole about my approach and my well-being, I was able to kind of develop a bit of a hopefully nice personality if you enjoy it. I certainly enjoy my personality, but I think there is something to be said about, learning more about yourself on an inner, deeper level compared to just the appearance, because looks can always change and looks will continue to change. We age, we are human, we are an animal. If you're not working on the inside, I think that will show eventually on the outside. So today I wanted to share with you a couple of things, kind of some pillars, I guess they're called, of confidence. And after I left my abusive relationship, I was the heaviest I've ever been. I felt the worst about myself, and I didn't really know what to do or where to go. And I really needed to find my center again. I really needed to find who I was, remember and define myself, because I was really stripped of all those things, which is what happens when you're in abuse. I guess I kind of researched a bit about just confidence and what people usually think about kind of how do I become more confident, or what are the things that I can selectively try to work on to maybe boost my confidence. And there are three that I really seem to connect with when kind of going through them. One of which is being physically kind of there and present. The second is mentally present, and the third is spiritually. So we'll start with physically. I, especially right after leaving that relationship, physically was the heaviest I'd been and hadn't worked out probably in close to 3-4 years, and was just a mess. I was eating terribly, I wasn't taking care of myself, and that was the first thing I did, and I changed. And as soon as I started to put in the work and started to see my body change and adapt to what I was doing to it, I definitely had a bit of self-confidence, not only because I was doing what I knew was right for my body, but obviously most people find a healthier body more attractive. And I think, unfortunately, as you grow up, even though, I still have my fair share of body issues, and I don't think being extremely thin or being the most fit person in the world has to equal beauty or equal attractiveness. But there is something to be said about being healthy and taking care of yourself. Like, that is a good quality to have, to care about yourself enough to put your health first. And that's ultimately what I think this kind of pillar is all about. Also, eating well, I think there are quite a few, studies done about how it's either 20-80 or 30-70 of how much that you actually put in your body food-wise is really what matters. That's the bigger percentage of weight loss or changing your body, and the other remaining part is the diet, or is the exercise part. And so eating well and eating healthy, eating whole foods, I think is just really, really important. And I've learned that in the past couple of years. I'm still on my sugar cleanse, which is difficult, but I'm doing all right, eating and having a lot of fruits and using honey and maple syrup sometimes if I really need my sweet kick. And really just ultimately, I think physically, when I started to see my body change, it opened up for me at least the door to understanding that I could change in other ways, that I could change how I thought about myself. Like, if I can attack and break down this one barrier, which truly was the easiest one, then I can go after all the other ones. And for me, these are the hardest ones within this mental category, this mental pillar of being strong. It's having a very clear, defined inner voice, and one that doesn't put yourself down. Now, I know I'm not the only one, and I know most people are their own worst critic, and I try to often tell myself to talk to myself like I would a friend. But I am human and we all are human. Like, I come out of a shower and I look at myself in the mirror and I question, like, how do I look? Maybe not great, but I have to realize I've done tremendous amounts of work on myself and my body, and that's truly what matters. And knowing that I am continuously working to obtain a better me is really what I'm focused on mentally. I have what I talked with my therapist about called ants, where I have automatic negative thoughts, and I think most people probably struggle with that too. And really, if you get latched onto one negative thought, then another one comes, and another one, and another one, and then you're down this rabbit hole of negative thoughts that you can't get out of. So you gotta be conscious about your thoughts, and you have to be a bit more mindful when you're thinking. You know, I very much often think to myself a lot because I'm home by myself with my cat, with Miko, and sometimes I talk to him, sure. Sometimes I talk to myself out loud, sure. But a lot of the times it's my inner monologue that's just going on through my head. And a lot of the times it's not the nicest of things. However, I do think my approach and my just overall lifestyle has become so much more positive in the past couple of years compared to where I was. And I think that having a positive, better mindset, waking up, understanding today is a new day, I can accomplish something new, I can set myself a goal, I can obtain what I want to, is really important in making yourself more confident. I think it's when you start to set yourself challenges or goals and you accomplish them, you start to realize the value that you have as a person. You start to understand that I can accomplish these things. I can get this done. I am worth something. And not only to somebody else, but when you realize that you are worth something to yourself, that's what truly matters the most. So I think that is a day-by-day thing that people go through. And I think especially now, during COVID, when I'm home by myself, it is very much a day-to-day uphill, hopefully mainly uphill battle of realizing my self-worth and realizing how truly special and important I am. And that, I think, is something that cuts to the core of being confident and also being happy. And then spiritually, I am not a super religious person, but I am quite spiritually kind of there. I really like kind of feeling through music and feeling through meditation, and yoga has been something that I'm really working on. And I think a lot of the spirituality things that I enjoy are the mindfulness of keeping your head enlightened and keeping yourself enlightened and your thoughts together and forward and positive. I think my therapist said that 70% of most people's thoughts are negative. You know, just think if we could change that to even being 60 or 50, how much more people probably could accomplish and how much better they would feel about themselves. I think when you feel better about who you are and what you do for yourself, you will want to inherently share that and spread that to other people. That's why I started this channel, is I want to help people. I want people to understand that they can get better, they can do better, they can do what they want to do, they can accomplish what they want to accomplish. A lot of this is your mind and how you set yourself up to be. So try to be the best that you can. Overall, a couple of other things to kind of note. Surround yourself with good people. I realize in this day, it's probably more so who you're calling or who you're FaceTiming or Skyping or whatnot, but you usually pick up the personality traits and kind of the qualities of people that you spend the most time with. I think it's around 5 or 6 of the most influential people in your life is what you start to behave yourself. So make sure you're around people that build you up. It's amazing kind of what your mind and your surroundings can do when you're around people that don't make you feel good. But ultimately, I think what's most important is making sure that you feel good. I live alone. I don't live with other people, and it's important for me to feel healthy and whole in myself, by myself. Like, I don't want to rely on others to be able to do that, and that's why I'm excited that I'm continuing to grow and become better on my own. The thing that I am currently working on for confidence, because the root of kind of all of my issues always stem from body positivity and body issues that I've had. So I am going to be starting a gratitude journal for myself of writing something that I'm grateful for maybe every day. But one of the items that I need to put every day is something that I'm grateful for on my body or what my body has been through. Because I need to be better about that. I am a very harsh critic on my body, and I truthfully dislike a lot of how it looks, and it's difficult because I want to look at my body and say positive things, and I want to look at myself and say positive things, but it's difficult to do at times. But I know that I can get better, and I can only control myself and my own thoughts. So if there's a way that I can start to kind of curve how I'm looking at myself, why wouldn't I? So I hopefully gave you a couple of things or just some insight on maybe what you can focus on to try to gain a bit more confidence or just inner being so that you can be a little bit more whole yourself. And I think that's ultimately what this all comes down to, is finding out who you truly are, sticking with your beliefs, as long as they don't hurt other people, and as long as you're not impressing, those thoughts onto other people too much in a negative fashion. But as long as you're staying whole to who you are, and I think I've really found a niche here of who I am, what I love to do, what I'm aspiring to do. I'm able to envision so much more for myself in my life now that I have this kind of clearer picture. I feel more confident and more powerful than I ever have. And that is truly a beautiful thing. So, thank you so much for being here. I hope you enjoyed this Wellness Wednesday. Go on, do something you love if you can today. Color, read a book, watch a TV show. Just try to do something you love. I think it's really important and will help you gain a little bit of confidence if you're happy. All right, I hope to see you on the next one. Thank you so much for being here. Bye, guys.